everyone. Welcome to the Indigo Plateau Show. I am GhostTypeGhost, and I'm joined with the one and only Woodland Docs and our new co-host, Patattack. But before we get started on introductions, Docs, how are you doing today?
As you can see, since season 2, I have mastered the green screen.
It's just green. There's nothing there.
Ghost is called a green screen. You're supposed to put a green screen behind you.
Okay, is that what they told you?
Production values skyrocketed.
It looks like a lovely green field behind you.
Exactly.
Nothing there.
You know what? I love bug types. Grass. There you go. There's a pineco. Right, $5. Whoever finds the pineco.
It's also blurry.
Well, because they use. Okay. All right. Confessions. I don't know how to actually use the green screen in Discord, so I just put on the blur feature. There, you happy?
I thought we figured out there is no green screen feature.
I don't think there is.
This is all on purpose. This is meant to be like this. It's fine.
It was all planned. It was like this from the start. Except I was supposed to be a lot richer by now. So. Oh
well. How have you been since season 2? It's been several months now since we recorded.
Well, I mean, but the listeners don't know. I got a new job. I forgot to shave.
Do you ever shave though?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Every once in a while, I get sick of looking like this. Yeah, no, not much. Just a new job. What have you been up to for the listeners?
Nothing really. I mean, I took a little break from streaming. I'm back on streaming Mondays and Thursdays. So beyond that, nothing really too exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I still play Vanguard. Surprise, guys. Surprise.
More than ever.
Yeah, way more than ever.
What, every Thursday now? Not Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah, every Saturday I've got my locals group now. I'm still selling. We're making plans. I have I wrote that jingle. Yeah, wrote that little jingle.
Is it done yet?
No, actually, he messaged me today saying he hasn't sung yet. But,
I think you should just use your voice.
I'm gonna pass on that and spare everybody.
Yeah, no one knows what we're talking about, but Docs made.
I sang a jingle for Vanguard, and yeah, and I can't sing, as you guys have noticed from previous episodes.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's funny though.
Yes. Anyways, in Pokemon news.
Okay, what's up? What do we got?
I don't know. I'm just kind of excited to talk about Pokemon.
That's right. Do you have a plushie for today?
I don't at the moment.
No.
But I will have one for next episode. They're all right there. It's just there's boxes in the way, filled with Vanguard cards. So.
Oh my god. We should just do a Vanguard podcast at this point, honestly.
I will be absolutely useless for that because I only know the past 2-3 years worth of stuff. So.
It's all new. Well, with that, do you want to get knowing Pat?
I was going to say, speaking of new, transitions.
Oh my god. All right. We have our new co-host, Patattack. Pat, how are you today?
I'm doing good, guys. Excited to do this, a little nervous. Never done nothing like this before, so definitely stoked. Just had a good day. Now I'm looking forward to this, so yeah.
So
Patattack.
Nope.
And yeah, that's me.
Okay. I was gonna say, so then to prove to the folks that we're not succumbing to the AI trend and that you are a real human being, what is 43 divided by 7?
43 divided by 7? Oh, bro, why are you putting me on the spot with some mental math
right
now?
If he was a robot, he would have known the answer. Therefore, Pat is real, and you will see his lovely visage soon. So it's not an AI voice; it's a real person. I promise.
It's like 6 and some fraction or something.
Yeah, it's something. Point.
Now you're just trying to prove that you're a robot. You know what? This is all off track.
You know what? It's AI generated.
Oh no! Said the accountant. Docs.
Look, okay. If it's not in Excel, I can't do math.
I mean, that's fair. Who does math in real life?
They asked me to measure a fence that needs replaced, and I'm like, what?
Can I put that in the spreadsheet or?
I literally came back and I typed in how many inches it was, and I hit divide by 12 to figure out how many feet the fence was.
Oh my god. Well, there you go. So, Pat, we have several questions for you. So I'll go ahead and kick it off with the first one. So first and foremost, tell us a little bit about your history with Pokemon, i.e. like your childhood till now.
Honestly, started out like most other people, started Pokemon base set drops, first edition. Used to get Pokemon cards as a kid and play with them, and I remember there used to be this little ice cream shop I used to go to, get some ice cream, Pokemon cards, and that's how it started. And then there was this little comic store that I used to go to and always buy, packs of cards there. And then for Christmas, I got Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Stadium and just started playing the games, watching the anime, playing, collecting the cards. And that's really how it all started.
Nice.
So that comic shop, did it have comics?
It was A&A Comics.
Screw that guy. Next topic.
Wow. Wait.
Wow.
He was always so mean to me. Like, when, I love The Simpsons, and comic book guy is always this cranky dude. That was an IRL comic book guy. He hated children. He hated talking to you. He hated helping you. Click off, buddy. All right.
Anyways, next topic. Docs does not like A&A Comics guy.
They went out of business late 90s, early 2000s, and I couldn't have been happier.
I'm pretty sure they went out of business about late 2010s.
Oh wow, really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, they were actually around for a while.
Huh.
But that's where I started my journey into this great unknown that is now Pokemon, and here we are 20-something years later.
Oh my god. All right, so question number 2. What are your favorite aspects of Pokemon?
Honestly, always the artwork. I mean, I think with any TCG, I think the thing that draws a lot of people is the art, and then you have an appreciation for the game that follows. So that's probably one of my favorite aspects of Pokemon. And then like the brotherhood. Like, I mean, if you have somebody that likes Pokemon, like you can have a conversation with that person about that. So like that's my 2 favorite aspects about like Pokemon is like the art that comes from it, as well as like everything entailed with like talking to other people about it.
That's fair. Yeah, you could talk about Pokemon till the day I die, basically.
Absolutely. And what I love about it is you can talk to a completely random stranger that you would absolutely not think you would have anything in common with, and you guys could have a conversation about Pokemon.
Except the A&A Comics guy. Yes.
Jesus. Oh no, this is gonna be all episode, isn't it?
Yeah, those are my 2 favorite aspects about Pokemon.
Nice. Oh my god. So, what is your expertise when it comes to Pokemon? You right there, Nox?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Honestly, my favorite thing is playing the games. I mean, that's really what I'm most passionate about with the series. I enjoy doing competitive battles. I like completing, my Pokédex. In not Scarlet and Violet, but Sword and Shield, I literally collected every item in the game.
Oh wow.
And I completed my decks. So
oh my god.
Yeah.
Fun
but
fact.
I also played
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, fun fact. I played that game a lot because I do competitive online battles, and in order, to EV train Pokemon and stuff like that, a lot of vitamins, a lot of mints, so you gotta grind. So
I actually have never completed a Pokedex in any game. I know.
Not even Let's Go. I mean, Let's Go is 151 mons, super easy.
Can't be bothered. I can't be bothered.
Oh man.
I know.
That freaking gloom that's just waiting for you to catch it in Let's Go Eevee is gonna be sad because you're never coming for it.
No, it's okay. I catch my favorite and I'm like, we're good.
You gotta catch them all. Come on. Anyways, I'm gonna take some questions because you've been hogging the questions, and now that I'm blurry as heck, it makes more sense. So, if my camera will focus, so we heard what you like. What are your least favorite things about the franchise?
Some of the Pokemon that they come up with. I feel like at some point or another, somebody just throws something at the wall and says, "Yeah, that's good," and then they name it.
And then they name it Bombardier. Yes, exactly.
Oh no, yeah, Dox is.
Yeah.
I mean, let's keep it real. They literally made Garbodor. It's a trash Pokemon, and it's literally trash. It's so ironic, and they knew it.
You know what?
I like him. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't even care. I kind of like him. I kind of do.
Well, I mean, we'll have, you know, if anybody's been listening for a while, you've heard the previous Poke Roast. Poke Roasts are gonna come back, and after a whole new generation of Mons, I've got some fuel to my fire. But just like Ghost and myself, we're not just Pokemon. I like at least 3 things. So outside of Pokemon, where do you find yourself spending your time? You know, what are your key hobbies and stuff?
A lot of my key hobbies, play drums. So I still, for a long time, I used to do that as a kid. I don't play in like a band or anything, but I still practice, and it's something I enjoy. So that's one of my hobbies. I enjoy being outdoors, so hiking and stuff like that. You can find me in nature a lot, to be honest. Just sitting on a log somewhere in the woods. So I just enjoy really being outside and touching grass.
So, you know what? The world needs more of that. So good for you. Truly.
Yes.
I've got the green screen, so I can just put the grass back there and I pretend. So yeah, that's the extent. Actually, in full disclosure, my new job is now near a park. And one day last week, I'm like, yeah, it's been a not so great day. And I sat in the park for 45 minutes, and I went back and I felt better. It was pretty cool.
I know, being outside actually does stuff. It's great.
Who would have thought?
I know.
Being in the sun, getting some vitamin D. But that's definitely something that I enjoy doing. And then my third hobby that I actually really enjoy, like a lot, just almost as much as Pokemon, is I am a big Magic the Gathering fan. So typically most nights you can find me playing Magic the Gathering with my play group. And we'll have like a little FNM, and we'll play Modern, Commander, different types of stuff. And yeah, that's something I love almost just as much as Pokemon.
Nice. So. We have 3 TCGs covered between the 3 of us.
We got everything but Yu-Gi-Oh covered.
I know. Good. Nobody likes Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. It's fine.
I mean, I can still play it, but so I guess the last question in the Get to Know Patattack segment, and there is a right answer, so please put all the pressure on yourself.
Oh my god.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
Tyranitar. Godzilla, bro.
Straight up.
Well, I said there was a right answer.
Don't you dare.
Well, T-Tar's always been cool. I've always, you know, like that's one of the ones that you're like, oh, everybody loves T-Tar, but you secretly like it. So
everybody loves T-Tar Docs.
Yeah,
everybody.
So before he came in Gen 2, did you have a Gen 1 favorite? I'm just curious.
Gyarados.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Gyarados was always my Gen 1 favorite.
Gyarados,
the big snake.
Oh, Gyarados. I thought you said Gyarados. I'm like, the spider?
Oh, Gyarados.
Spider?
Yeah.
I thought you said Gyarados. I'm like, that's a spider. That's not right. Okay, gotcha. Gyarados. Tight. Okay.
I always felt like Gyarados should have been a dragon, but for some reason he's a flying water type.
He flies. I don't know.
He does fly. What do you mean? He's a water Pokemon. He's literally a water Pokemon with flying. And he looks like a dragon that isn't a dragon.
Oh no. He just flies.
I'll tell you what. For competitive battles, dude's cracked. Absolutely insane. However, I'll take the typing, but to me, he always looks like a dragon.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Do you know what I did for competitive battling in Scarlet Violet? Ground Terra type Gyarados. So as soon as someone's about to hit me with a T-Bolt to one-shot it,
gnarly.
Hit
And
hit
that's something that you need to do with your Terra typing to be a defensive. You want to try to basically get rid of their weaknesses. So that's a super smart play. That's a 1,000 IQ play. So
Wow, docs.
I'm not saying I'm a master, but my camera's still blurry.
know your basics and you'll thrive.
So
Like, what is this Pokemon weak to?
and for Ghost, sometimes that's a challenge. So
Where were
anyways, guys, Ghost's computer said no. Yeah,
We're fine.
no,
We're
we
back.
gotta- I started giving you a hard time, and then you just stopped moving and stopped talking, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
I logged off because I didn't want to hear it.
I was gonna say
It's like-
I bullied you out of the podcast just in the same week where I talked to kids about not to bully each other. I bullied you out of the podcast.
Did I not text you and say, "Oh, you were teaching kids how to bully"? I see.
Yep, I was. Yeah, I was. My old coach asked me to speak to a 6th grade class about being nice to people,
Mm-hmm.
and here I am. Bullying my friends.
Docs.
It's really cool.
bullying Ghost about not knowing his typings?
Yeah,
I know my typings. For the most part.
I'll believe it when I see it. We'll have a battle soon, Ghost.
Okay.
There's
fair
Lamb's
enough.
type, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, funny enough, ask Ghost. I actually gave him a 6 IV perfect T-Tar. And I battle trained him and gave him the right moveset. I'm sure Ghost remembers this.
Yeah, it was when you were over, wasn't it?
And used it
Yes,
very
it
thoroughly.
was.
Yeah, I used it. Like that shiny Bulbasaur.
Did he use the T-Tar I gave him against you?
No.
No.
I was going to say, that thing is something vicious, honestly. And I gave him an assault vest, too.
Yeah, that's right. You're all screwed. What are you gonna do about it?
Well,
As soon as Pokemon Home comes up in Scarlet, this man's tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
well, so when I think of being able to bring up all my old mons, I get really excited, and it's not for any competitive reason, but just like because I put in all the hard work transferring them up, like through Pal Park, then Safari. It was like Safari, Pal Park, and then the game pack thing. I don't like how you had to get it from like a Game Boy cartridge all the way up to the
Back in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, you had to have the transfer pack for the GameCube. You transferred it from the GameCube to the Game Boy, and then you were able to import them to your DS.
Yep. That was a painful process, but I had so much fun putting them in home. So,
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, because now I've
Worth
got
it.
all my. I literally have my childhood Venusaur.
I'm sorry, Docs. I got excited because the thing that makes me most excited about this is Pokemon literally made it to where you were able to transfer all the Pokemon from all the hard work that you did in previous generations to the new generation. And that's why you have people who still have Pokemon that they literally caught as a kid in their current games right now. I literally have a Lugia that I caught in XD Gale of Darkness, purified it, transferred it all the way up through the generations to my current system. And that's like a wonderful thing. That truly is like an amazing thing that people super underrate about Pokemon.
My red Gyarados, my childhood Venusaur, and there was something else that I had that was cool. That are just sitting there waiting to come up. So
the other day I was thinking about it, and there's only one Pokemon I regret not transferring. It was my very first starter. I wish he's stuck on the GBA, and I'm just like,
Well, I mean, that's nice to maybe we were able to bring up our childhoods, but it only makes up for the part of my childhood that they just killed, and I'm very, very angry.
How so, Docs?
Ash is gone, and I can't. I don't. I'll try to watch, but I don't know. It's not Pokemon if it's not Ash.
Docs, you know my feelings towards Ash and how he wasn't my favorite character in a lot of things. However, I never thought we'd see the day where he's not in the show.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, like, Ash's Pikachu, they're the icons, and I don't know. I mean, Pikachu's not being removed as the face of the franchise or anything, thankfully. But like, I don't know. It's not gonna be the same for me when I try to watch it.
I definitely empathize with that. I mean, it's like a little piece of your childhood is dying. But with me, I think what happened was is just Ash got too unrelatable for the new generation. I mean, if you think about it, how long has Ash been on his journey? 25 years, essentially. And I think they're trying to create a new narrative for Pokemon to where they can introduce a new character to drive the story for a new generation.
I get that, like, we're especially attached to Ash and Pikachu because we've had them since the beginning. It was what cemented the franchise as something great. But like, maybe just progress Ash. Like, he wanted to be the very best, like no one ever was. He wanted to be a Pokemon master. He finally won his championship. Go have him complete the decks. Go have him become get a gym leader certification, or have him get a job with preservation, or do something like that, because you can show off more than just running around getting badges, which is the main selling point of most of the games, with like the exception of Lola, but you're still doing your trials or whatever. So why not just have Ash but do something else?
I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to have like a show around. I don't know. I guess it depends on how they would do that.
I mean, I can see him
Go
just
ahead,
running around on similar adventures, but with a different goal. You know what I mean? Like, to be an all around better trainer, all around better pokey person.
Do you think they left his story like with multiple branches so they can maybe do a spin-off later and maybe give the writers something fresh that they can work with as far as like the main story, and then they might come back. There's always room to come back for Ash from exactly what you were talking about.
Well, yeah, and like, I don't know if you two saw the clip, but like, their adventure ends with him just throwing a stick in the air to decide what fork in the road he goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
Which
oh,
goes back to what I was saying. There's so many branches. So they literally left it up to interpretation. Where is Ash's journey going to go?
That was a fail safe. They're like, if this bombs, we could always just go back to Ash.
that's what I was gonna say. That was the cheap way out. Yeah.
They gave themselves an out for sure, but that's also good story writing.
Yeah. No, I think there's a possibility that he'll either come back or even from the get-go be a part of the news story just in limited capacity. Like maybe he is older and it's like in the future a little bit. And I don't know, maybe he is a gym leader or something like that. And maybe we haven't seen the last of Ash, just not as our main protagonist.
I like to compare this to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you have, at the end of the original series, you've got the Pharaoh departing to the spirit world, and you have little Yugi left behind. And then when they change arcs, you do have interaction between Yugi and your new protag. So maybe if they didn't just leave Ash walking down a broken path, if he went back to Professor Oak's lab and he's like, Professor, I won, and they have their party, and then he's there, and the next morning, and these two new kids run up, hey, Professor, I'm ready to start my journey, and then they pass it off that way. I feel like you can't just leave it super open, or you can't say it's super closed. Like, you have to bridge it somehow. I don't know.
Did you hear the theory that the two kids in the new show are Ash's kids?
That would be adorable as heck.
Would you
I
like
mean,
that?
if you think about it, they did it with Boruto. Granted, the first like 200 episodes of Boruto was trash, but it's like it got good eventually. But that would actually be a cool concept. I would actually very much love to see that, to be honest, to where it's like Ash training the new generation.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. He goes to
Yeah.
settle down in Paldea and pops out a few kids.
Well, he could settle in how many different regions? I mean, you never know where his journey's going to take him, so they could really go wherever they want with it.
They could make Ash a deadbeat dad and have one kid in every region, and boom, the story is wide open. Ash
Oh,
left
no.
he
Our
left
boy Ash has multiple mistresses in different regions.
he left for Moo Moo Milk and he never came back.
That's the storyline. Each season is like his offspring from each region trying to find their dad, and it all culminates to them finding out they have the same dad.
And
And then
that's
it
why
turns into a Hunter x Hunter where he's like, "Catch me if you can." Heck.
that's why dads are never around in the Pokemon universe. Exactly. We fill the major
Oh
plot
no!
hole. We
Oh
just filled
no!
a major
DJ's right.
plot hole.
Dox is right. Dox is right.
So I think that works.
This is
but
bad.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm always gonna miss Ash, and I'm gonna miss Pikachu. I'm gonna miss the ridiculousness of, Pikachu dodge. Like, that doesn't work. But or I think I saw something. There was an episode where Ash's opponent had a Dragonite, and it used 10 moves in the same episode. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a stretch.
Wait a minute.
And then I think there was another episode where someone like laid down poison spikes or something, and then Ash's Infernape used Dig and Flare Blitz at the same time, and he's like, use Dig Blitz. And he like Flare Blitzes underground and then pops up under whatever it was that laid down the poison spikes, and he's like, "Ha! I didn't touch your spikes." And I'm like, okay, that's a little too far.
I wish they would make that a competitive Pokemon move. Are you kidding me? To avoid field hazards? Absolutely. Make it a move.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Just put on your
Cash in what you're dishing out, Pokemon. If you're gonna show it in an anime, make it real, okay? That's all I gotta say. That move would be broken.
Well, that's like, I know some unsavory people play ROM hacks, not myself.
Some unsavory people.
Some unsavory individuals in the community will do that.
Dax, there's literally like 30 episodes of us doing this.
I know, but it's a good running gag. Shut up.
I mean, that wasn't us. That was your good friend Socks and I don't know.
And host.
And host. Yeah. It was that.
Socks and Guy. He's Socks and Guy. I don't know his name, so he's Guy.
No, like they put like not custom moves, but they put or they'll like make cut or something like a grass type move instead of normal, and yeah. So, anyways, for those folks who play such games, good for them.
Can you actually explain to me? So I'm not actually quite familiar with ROM hacks. So can you elaborate a little bit for me?
Well, I mean, if I knew more about it, if I had ever played one, like, I mean,
Are they messing with the code of the game to do stuff that breaks it, basically?
Yeah, I mean, like if there was like if there was like a Gen 1 remake that was a ROM hack, I think it'd be pretty radical. And they probably do red version actually.
Shut up.
So I think I think that's what they would do first, probably. Yeah.
Radical. Yeah, very radical.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So before I get sued, let's talk about.
Anyways,
let's talk about a real game that we have all probably played to death by now. And I keep looking at my phone because I forgot what the games are called. They're called Scarlet and Violet.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I have my so I got the limited edition Switch for it, the OLED. And on the base, it has Cordon and Miradon on the base. So I'm like, what version is that called? I'm like, that's orange and that's purple. I'm like, no, wait, that's not orange. I'm like, the Academy was orange.
Which is stupid. Why did they name it Scarlet and have a freaking... Anyways, go ahead. Continue.
Well, so we know one of your feelings about the game. So what, like, it's been what? November, we're in April when we record.
I think it was November 17th it came out.
So we've had this for 5 months. So first off, go around the room. How many hours have you played?
Hold on. I'll be honest with you. Give me a second. I have my Switch by me, so I'm going to check my hours real quick.
Honestly, not that. Maybe 50? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rookie numbers. I will tell you for myself, I played both versions. Scarlet has about 175 in it.
Woo!
Especially because that's the one that I streamed off of when we did raids on Sundays. Which
That'll do it.
I'd like to get back to doing it. And then Violet has about 85-ish on it. So combined 260, 270, somewhere in there. I'm
Okay.
not an accountant. So I don't do
Well,
that.
considering you streamed
awesome.
it a lot, that's not as much as I thought it would be.
Well, I mean, I literally took off of work to stream.
You did. I remember that.
I was #dedicated, baby. Anyways, Pat,
Absolutely.
what's up for start?
So my my Pokemon Violet says I have 110 hours logged. And then in I don't know if I even want to say it.
Just do it.
In Pokemon Sword, I have 640 hours logged.
We're not talking about that one. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're not talking
Sword,
about that one.
I can barely play Sword for 50 hours, but
But-
I was, like I said, grinding. You know, I told you guys earlier why I have the Pokédex, and then I collected every item. As you can see why, I had a lot of time logged into that game. And that was really just trying to breed for competitive Pokemon and trying to make them battle ready for online battles. Just, you got to grind. And then, to be honest with you, I did breed like 1,200 eggs for a shiny T-Tar, but I was committed.
Yeah, no.
we'll just
I was
cut part
committed.
out to save you from the crowds. But
But
So-
real quick before we move on, all your times are probably longer because the in-game clock is actually tied to the frames. So since the FPS is not great, it's slowed down your clock, so it's probably more.
for Scarlet and Violet.
Mhm.
Huh. Wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, so okay. So you did not finish your decks in Scarlet and Violet Ghost?
No, I haven't even
Okay.
gotten the legendaries yet.
I mean, to be honest, my bad. Go ahead, Ghost.
No, it's fine. I'm still working on the first one with those stakes in the ground. You know, I got all of the one color, so that's where I'm at.
Pat, did you finish yours?
No, not at all. To be honest with you, I was gonna say I can't find the stakes, and I refuse to look up a guide.
You'll have to climb every single inch of that game to find it.
I'm committed.
Okay. I salute you. I didn't even start without a guide. I just said, you know what? Guide. Screw it.
That's so very dox of you, to be quite
that
honest.
is very doxing, yes.
On brand.
So I completed the decks in both. So I got the shiny charm in both. So now that we know that I'm the one with the shiny advantage, how many shinies have you guys found?
6.
In the current game, probably only like 2, but one of those was a shiny Dragapult.
Oh.
Shiny Dreepy, I should say. It was a shiny Dreepy. I was farming it, trying to get that like multiplier, and I was just running around, and I literally was like, there's no way. I was around that one lake where they all spawn, and it just spawned, and I binked him in the head with a Pokeball, and I got him.
That's
that was
awesome.
actually the first shiny I caught in Scarlet Violet.
Nice.
So I in Violet, I haven't done any of the hordes, or not horde encounters. What are they called? The mass outbreaks.
Mhm.
I didn't do any of the mass outbreaks in that one, just because I had a better team and better mons all in Scarlet. But while I was playing Violet, and this was just playing through the story before I completed the decks, I was just going through. What's the psychic chick with the makeup and the butterflies? No,
Jinx?
the trainer.
Did you just say Jinx?
The trainer? You said the chick. I mean, Jinx is kind of a chick. I don't know. I assume.
That's
I
amazing.
think it's Alfrenata Town. It's in the southwest of Paldea.
Oh my god.
So I was just on my way there through that big cave that you have to go through. I'm like, that Toxtricity looks weird. And I go towards shiny Toxtricity. And then over in Scarlet, I'll do the mass outbreaks, and I've gotten a few shinies that way. But then there was another time where I'm just literally I had nothing to do. It was like a Saturday morning, and I'm just walking as slow as my character can walk, and I just come across like 5 Go-Go, and I'm like, that one has different colored horns. It's just a shiny Go-Go, just chilling.
Oh wow!
So they do spawn, quite frequently, even if you don't have the shiny charm. So
Yeah,
I mean, it took away a little bit of the thrill, but not much.
all the shinies I got were from outbreaks. Like I haven't come across a random shiny. Although in my, how it tells you like how many shinies you encountered. It says like 7, but I only have 6. So I somehow missed one.
Trades count.
But I didn't trade a shiny or anything.
So
You never traded back and forth with me to complete my decks, and I didn't send you a shiny?
I don't think so.
So that's my gripe with the game, is that in game there's no like audio trigger to show you where the shinies are, because I've actually encountered that as well. I've actually encountered like 8 shinies and I have 2.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts to think about.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it, but it happened.
Their counter argument is, the quick battle feature. Just send out a quick battle buddy. And you're kind of like, well, if I'm progressing through the game, I don't want to over level.
You could do a little ding, like if I'm around a Pokemon, like 9 times out of 10, like how often does it happen? What are your odds? Like it's like what, 7,000 or something like that?
I think it's like 1 in 8,200, and then if you have the shiny charm, it goes down to 1 in 4. I think
1 in 4. That's not right.
What are you talking about?
4,000. 4,000.
We both thought you meant
was like, yeah.
4. Period.
I'm like, but that's what I'm saying. So like, your odds of a shiny encounter are astronomical already.
Okay, I was wrong. Sorry, I was wrong. I don't want to misinform the listeners. It's 1 in 4,000 naturally, and then it goes down from there. I thought it was 1 in 8, and then they went down to 4. No,
and then that's like Masuda method, and then etc. But that's different. Encounters in the wild are much different, and then your shiny charm odds. There's different multipliers. I would have to pull up a stat sheet. I don't know offhand, but you're definitely right. But the point being is the odds of getting a shiny are still slim. The least you could have done was just like put a little ding. Like, come on.
Some visual.
Yeah. Or an indicator on the mini map or something, maybe.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, at least if you do the outbreaks, you will get a shiny. It's just how long are you willing to put up your picnic basket and then redo it. You will get it. Like, out of all the ones I've done, I think I've only ever given up on 2 of them, and all the rest I got shinies off of. So
I got a Malcombe.
I got a Vesperquin, a shiny Vesperquin.
Well, I have something to say to you after this recording.
You can have it. I don't care.
So yeah, I mean, like the shiny hunting, it's easier, definitely easier. The story, I absolutely love the entirety of the story. It is the best story they've ever put. It's probably the first one they put effort into.
Well, I would say Black and White they did, even if it didn't make that much sense.
See, I've always liked all the Pokemon stories, but this one, you are right, Docs, is especially, like, I enjoyed it.
It's wonderful.
It was not wonderful. I will admit this 100%. I definitely teared up at the end. I was like, excuse me? Why do I feel these emotions right now?
Daddy bot? What?
I was like, no.
Well, I played through Scarlet, put in crazy hours, and then I waited a month or so, and then I did Violet. And knowing how it was going to go, like, you kind of, you obviously going to pick up on stuff, just like if you rewatch a movie for a second time. So I wouldn't know anything about that. But if you redo something in recent memory, you're going to pick up on little cues like, oh, right there, that points to, being dead, or, oh, that right there points to it's a sick Pokemon, or, you know what I mean? So, like, you're going to pick up on that stuff, but...
Yeah, you pick up on the little stuff that you missed when you were looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, and knowing it did not detract from the story. I still thought that it was great, even with those, those extra features.
You know what? Fun fact. Normally, if you know like spoilers or you know how something's going to end, 9 times out of 10, you actually enjoy it more. Like psychologically.
Is that why I rewatch the same 5 shows and listen to the same 5 bands?
Basically.
Yeah, comfort shows.
Yeah.
Comfort shows. Yep.
There's less
familiarity.
Yeah, there's less stress on you. Like if you know like what's about to happen.
All right. Screw learning about Pokemon. I'm learning about docs. All right.
There you go. So
I mean, yeah, and you know the so terrestrializing. Any more fully formed thoughts on that? I'm still in the same place where I was before.
It was fine. I don't do the raids like ever. I don't really care.
So Docs, what's your take on I'm sorry, pronounce that for me.
Terrestrialization.
Yeah. Terrestrializing. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm like, let me sound this out. Before I sound stupid. No. But what's your take on it, since I was not part of the show when you probably talked about it, and while I did listen, refresh my memory for me. What's your take on it? Hot take.
It's not that hot. It's actually pretty in line with everybody else. Like it's really cool for choking and dying, and it's also really cool for competitive battling. I was worried that it was going to break competitive battling until they did the open team sheet policy.
Explain for me what that is.
Basically, before an event, you can see your opponent's team and their Terra types. So
okay.
That way, you know,
so if for Pokemon Worlds and stuff like that.
Yep, for all the regionals that have been going on and good stuff like that. So I was afraid that it was going to break it. Once they did that, I'm like, okay, this is more balanced. Then, because you still don't know which 4 they're going to bring, and then you don't know which one's going to terrestrialize, so it's still fair enough. And you know, in the game, I think it makes for some really frustrating encounters. Like if you're doing the raids, I mean, if you put a Blissey out there and it's got just the wrong Terra type for you, you're done for. You can't even beat a Blissey. I mean, the raids being the main way to get it is wonderful. It lets the people who want to do it, and it lets people who don't want to just pass on by. It's no consequence to you. So I'm really in favor of them.
Well, I enjoy that. I enjoy the terrestrializing because, like, so you see a Pokemon you really want. It's got a good Terra type, and it forces you to either be like, okay, I don't know about you, but if I see a Pokemon that's like a great Pokemon, I'm going to go into my bag of items. I'm going to figure out, okay, what should I make this? How can I build a Pokemon that can counter this? And I go fight it. Like, so that's what's enjoyable about it, in my opinion. You know, it gives a challenge.
Yeah, and the event raids are a challenge.
You literally have to make a Pokemon that can specifically beat that.
Yep, the Greninja, the Cinderace, just those 2 off the bat. My God, the Charizard. Oh Lord,
I didn't even try. I was like, I'm not. I'm gonna just bring down the team. It's fine. I don't need this in my life.
That's why I had those Sunday raids, because I had friends that were much better than me, and they'd carry me, and I'd still get my little bunny. So,
hey, you know what? Whatever works.
Well, I mean, like, so that's the main things that the game brought to us was, you know, incredible story, you know, the terrestrializing phenomenon, the mons themselves. I've found myself 50-50 disliking and liking. I don't know about you guys, but
Doc's Ghost, do you think this generation of Mon was like lackluster?
Yeah, I'm still mad at Grievard, however you say his name.
Graveard. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so sad about that. I'm so mad. I can't get over it.
Well, okay, rapid fire. Least favorite Gen 9 Mon, go.
Least favorite Bombardier. Stork. That thing.
Probably the little like centipede thing.
Centipede thing?
No. Trying to think.
There's a centipede thing?
Are you talking about Relior? The dung beetle?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the poopy bug?
Yeah, the little thing that rolls around a ball in the desert. That thing.
Yeah, that's a poop beetle.
And for me, it is the stupid flamingo. They did not make a Pokemon. They went to the zoo and they said, you know what? I don't like the letter N. And just
While I agree with you that it is just a flamingo, like it's not it's not actively atrocious or like I don't know. Like it's just a flamingo, but it's not terrible because it's just I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't hate it because it looks bad. It's not a Pokemon.
yeah, for me, there was zero effort. They
yes.
Yeah, they did not try at all. But I don't know. Anything else about those games sticks out to you guys?
No, I just enjoyed it. I mean, we could talk about the performance all day, but you know,
the frame rates were definitely an issue for me.
There
were times
so
where I was
bad.
underground. It was very bad. So like the game overall, like it was great, but like also at times it sounded like my Switch, if I was playing in handheld mode, was like a turbojet engine.
That's not right. That shouldn't be.
I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. That should not happen. It sounded like a jet plane was trying to take off. So like it's cool, but I feel like the Switch at times had a hard time trying to like be able to run it in handheld mode. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, so if I'm wrong, correct me here, but the difference between the OLED and the standard Switch is just the screen. There is no hardware. Okay.
Oh.
And that's why I was a little hesitant about getting it, but when X and Y came out, I got the limited edition 3DS. When this came out, I got the limited edition Switch. I just like spending money, I guess. So
On Pokemon.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you, did you notice a difference in performance?
No, that was zero, absolutely zero. Because Allie had hers on my original Switch, and we had all the same problems. I mean, even the freaking glitch where every time you were in a cave with Arvin, there's a half a Pokeball sticking out of the floor. Did you guys have that?
Not in the cave, but in battle sometimes.
Yeah, there's just a half a Pokeball sticking out of the floor. I'm like, what?
Never encountered that, but I got stuck under the map quite a lot.
Yeah, like
that's terrible.
There's
never happened.
Clearly some issues.
I think I sent Ghost a photo and I was like, look at this. And I was just underneath the map. And I'm like, this is trash.
Just vibing. Here's the thing though, it's like we're gonna buy it regardless. So it's like we can't even combat it because like we're just gonna buy it. So it's like
I'm gonna be like, anytime you drop a DLC, here, take my money. It's fine. I'll deal with it.
I already bought it. I already bought the DLC.
See, I won't buy it until it actually comes out.
I bought it. I'm like, it's fine. I'm gonna get it anyway. So,
but here's the thing. It's like 5 months down the road. It's like that's a later expense. I'll buy it when it's closer because it's like I'm not gonna tie up the money for 5 months. I'm gonna buy it. It's gonna happen regardless. But I don't know. I've always been a type to not buy it till it's about to come out or it's already came out.
Look,
like,
that's a smart thing. I did the dumb thing. Okay, like that was stupid.
That's fine. You were totally excited. You were stoked. You saw the trailer. You said absolutely.
Honestly, that's not what happened. I was just on the store. I'm like, oh, that came out. Yeah, I'll buy it. That's kind of what happened. I didn't even know it was available. And I came across it. I'm like, might as well. I'm going to anyways.
Which, speaking of, in the Switch store, they actually have like the little tickets that you could buy for like cheaper for like $100, but it's the digital copies and stuff like that. So since, we're talking about Switch, if our listeners are listening in and you buy digital copies, you can get 2 for $1, $100 in the Switch store. Save yourself some bread.
Just like I created my Brazil account.
Oh my God.
What's a Brazil account?
Exactly what it says.
Yeah, I told Nintendo that I lived in Brazil so I can get the Vanguard video game for a fourth of the price.
Yeah, for whatever reason in Brazil it was
How does
like
that work? How's that?
I'll save that for our scamming Nintendo podcast.
Oh.
Anyways, I digress.
I'm cutting that out. I'm not having Nintendo come after us.
Well, no. So, yeah, I will make the statement. It is the best entries in the Pokemon series to date. 100% for me. Nothing comes close.
That's a bold That's a bold statement, Cotton.
If the performance was good, I'd agree with you. But I cannot say that with such a broken game.
I'm putting the performance aside. No,
it's so broken. It's so bad.
The performance issues really kept it to where it was under par for me. Because like it was an enjoyable game. It was an enjoyable playthrough. But like sometimes it was very painful to try to play through. Like I'd be grinding, I caught a bunch of Pokemon, completed a bunch of mon in my decks, and now I'm stuck under the map. And now I need to quit out my game and reset because I'm stuck under the map. That's annoying.
For me, there was nothing that wasn't anything more than laughable. Like, especially with autosave. Like, I didn't have anything happen to where I lost any progress whatsoever. If anything, it was just, oh, there's a half Pokeball sticking out the floor. Oh, like that person's walking as if they were, like a robot from the 14th century. Like, it's...
Yeah, I mean, I totally see your point, but it shouldn't happen. Whether it's laughable or not, it just shouldn't be a thing. So
I'm just extremely permissive, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, you know what?
So I'm old-fashioned. I'm purist. I turn my autosave off because it's just how I like to play. I don't play with autosave.
Risky life. Okay.
See, I turned mine off because when I was shiny hunting.
Yes.
Oh,
that's always. Yeah. Well, I always turn mine off because of that same thing. Like if I have a shiny encounter, like it's just how I've always played. I never have an issue. I save frequently, but there were times to where you get lost in the sauce and you're just catching like, oh, that's a new Pokemon. That's a new Pokemon. That's a new Pokemon. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, I'm under the map. How can I get out of this? And then you see no light, and then you're just like, this is bullshit. Like, and then you just quit out. And I've gotten so sick at times to where I just stop playing the game. I'm like, I'm done.
Okay, the problem was being stuck under the map. I have the solution. In fact, we've already discussed the solution, and I'll give you one guess.
Fly somewhere?
Dig Blitz. We've been over this.
Dig Blitz? Use
Dig Blitz, and you will come out of the ground on fire.
Oh my god.
Dumb. Dumb. Oh my god.
Make it a real move, Nintendo.
Yeah. So do either of you have any final thoughts on Scarlet or Violet? And Violet, both of them.
I agree with Docs. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's good.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Truly, like great storyline, good Pokemon, very memorable Pokemon. Yeah, overall just a good game.
It's a game that I'm able to replay vanilla. Not that I would be someone who randomizes games, but
yeah, we went over that.
It's one that I can replay vanilla just because of the variety.
Absolutely.
I had 3 different teams when I played through Violet. I had a team for bases, I had a team for gyms, and I had a team for Arvin.
Was that necessary though?
Yeah. It let me have. And then, like, once I completed each of the 3 stories, before I went into Area 0, I took my 2 favorites from each team, and I made a mega team.
Wow.
And then I was able to complete the game with my mega team.
Fancy.
Which included a fortress.
Oh, that was one of the... Docs, I had a shiny fortress, and it self-destructed.
Yeah. I ran into a shiny Electrode, and I quick-balled it. Yeah. Anyways, to wrap it up, Patattack, welcome to the Indigo Plateau Show crew. You will all be hearing from Pat in hopefully all future episodes. I'm gonna let Ghost go into more detail about how things are going from here, but I just wanted to be the center of attention for a second. So Ghost.
Oh, thank you, Docs. So, these first 2 episodes of season 3, as I'm sure, well, maybe you didn't notice, but these were not streamed live. But we will be streaming 2 episodes live monthly. So we'll have 2 hours of Pokemon content on my Twitch channel, GhostTypeGhost. And then, of course, these will be made into video podcasts and audio podcasts. And yeah, they'll be on Thursdays, but we'll always communicate out when those will be. So if you ever want to attend these live, you can totally do that. And Docs, do you want to tell everyone where they could find us, actually?
Let me tell you. All right. There is this wonderful platform. Any of you who are new here, if this is your first episode of the Indigo Plateau Show, I hope that you are listening. If you're an old listener, I hope you remember, because the best place to find tips is on Facebeam.
He's always so close. It's Podbean, but also basically anywhere else you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all that fun stuff, we're there. And of course, the video version of this will be on YouTube. So if you want to see our faces, and not Pat's right now, you'll see his little avatar guy, but you will eventually. You could see us on YouTube. So with that, we will see you, or well, you won't see us. You'll hear us next week. Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Bye.